This is a tutorial for a crochet mini umbrella that I made for Egmont the elephant. The first thing you're going to do is crochet the canopy, and hopefully it will look like this. I made an adjustment to the pattern so that the spike on top of the umbrella is now part of the canopy pattern rather than a separate piece you add later. It's thicker than the one on the original umbrella, but I think it looks just as good. After you've made your canopy, you're going to add the ridges. These are the lines that run from the center of the umbrella to the outer points, and they give it a segmented look. It's not something you have to do. If you added the handle to the canopy now, it will look like an umbrella. The ridges are just an extra detail that you might want to do. To start, we're going to stitch a line from one point into the center and across to the opposite point. So cut a long piece of yarn, the same color as the canopy. I'm using white so you can see where I make the stitches. Thread it through the first point and start whip stitching to the top. Don't worry about securing the yarn end. We'll weave them in later. Also, don't worry if your line isn't perfectly straight. If it's slightly crooked, it won't change the overall effect. Okay, so when you get to the top, you just want to thread your needle through the spike to the other side. And then just work your way down to the opposite point. And there you go, you can see where the stitches have been made. And now you just have to repeat that 3 times for the other points. So this is how you weave in the yarn ends left over from the ridges. Go over the edge of the point a couple of times, and this will make the point sharper. Then you can just weave the yarn into the stitches on the underside of the canopy. Sometimes this can be tricky because the stitches can be tight and a little stubborn. Weave it back and forth 3 or 4 times, and that should be enough to secure it. umbrella. To make the stem, you'll need some craft wire. I used a 20 gauge craft wire that I bought from my local store. You'll need to cut 2 lengths, each length about 3 times the width of the canopy. So the first thing you're going to do is put the 2 lengths together and fold them in half. And now we're going to twist the wire together. You can use your pliers to hold the wire, and that just makes it a little easier. We're not going to twist all the way to the top because we want the ends to fan out into arms that will go underneath and attach to the canopy. Okay, so you'll want to stop twisting when the ends are a little less than half the width of the canopy. If your ends are uneven, you can just trim them off with your pliers. Right, fan the arms out. Mine were quite uneven, so they needed a bit of trimming, and then just check that the arms fit inside the canopy. Okay, when that's done, you can bend back the pokey bits. If you want to be extra careful, you can add some duct tape or wrap some duct tape around the ends to make sure no one gets jabbed. If the bottom of the stem is a little wide, you can just give it a squeeze with your pliers, and that should be it. There's your wire stem.